everybody. I'm Rupra.
And I'm Taryn Asher. We begin with a heartbreaking loss for one Metro Detroit family dealing really with an unthinkable tragedy.
Yeah, Taryn, what began as a normal day at work quickly turned violent. A mother of 6 stabbed to death at an East Point McDonald's while doing her job.
And Fox News' Camille Amiri joining us live with the very latest. And Camille, we understand you have spoken now with the woman's family. I mean, it's hard to imagine what they're going through.
Yeah, I mean, we were here all day, and then family members started showing up this afternoon, one after another, all coming back to the scene of the crime. She has 6 children, as you said, ages 5 to 20, and some of the littlest ones were here, and let me tell you, it was absolutely heartbreaking.
My mama was a good person. She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for.
Jennifer Harris, a single mother of 6, a manager at McDonald's, fatally stabbed Thursday morning by one of her employees, according to police.
My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
It happened right before 8 o'clock at the McDonald's on 9 Mile in East Point.
From our understanding, it happened near the drive-through window inside of the building, so in the employee area.
Investigators say it started as a verbal dispute between Harris and her employee. Harris asked the woman to leave, but
she came back with a mask on her face, and the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her. And she started stabbing her. I tried to stop her. It was no stopping her. She stabbed her everywhere.
Police say a customer, a CPL holder in line at the drive-thru, witnessed the stabbing and shot his gun in the air, attempting to stop the crime. The suspect ran out of the fast food restaurant, the CPL holder getting out of his car and holding her at gunpoint until police arrived.
He absolutely did the right thing. He showed, so to speak, heroism.
Harris's family members beside themselves with grief.
We met the lady and everything. I don't understand why she had to kill her.
Because the lady was evil. That's why she killed her. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the reasons why I'm just very careful about certain things and being around certain people, because you never know. You know, they always say give people a chance, and this woman was absolutely demonic, in which I plan on deep diving a little bit more into her Instagram and her social media posts, because she showed signs of craziness. And one of the things that I always do before I hire somebody is I deep dive into their social media. A lot of people say it shouldn't matter, but I think that it's a method of protection, and it also better vets exactly who it is that you're dealing with, even though you can't really differentiate between who you're going to be dealing with as far as in fast food, right? But she was 100% demonic. She was evil. She was demonic. It was some things that was in her, obviously in her head. I heard that, and I can't say that this is true or not, I heard that the woman that stabbed her, that she had already stabbed somebody else at like a Taco Bell or something like that before. I can't tell you whether that's true or not, but the one thing that I will say is that we got to be very, very careful, because it only takes one situation, one evil person, one demonic person, and then they keep telling us that we need to not, proactively vet for the people that we're dealing with on a regular basis, and you should just give everybody a chance. Nope. And I even said it. This woman passed away, and it's unfortunate because it's the biggest story in Michigan. Didn't even happen in Detroit. It happened outside of Detroit, in Metro Detroit. But, a lot of people are saying, and they sad about it, it's the biggest story because she was a single mother. She was doing her job. She wasn't out here asking for government benefits. And when it comes down to it, she had the right to pursue happiness and liberty and all of that stuff. And this woman is just crazy. I seen videos of her inside of the McDonald's playhouse. She was walking. We'll get into that. In a minute. Let's get to the rest of this real quick.
My mama was even good to her. She was good to everybody.
It's just so incredibly sad. The children's father is incarcerated. They told us that.
That's crazy.
When we met with them earlier today. So it was just their mom and them. The suspect is 26 years old, and of course we expect her to be arraigned possibly tomorrow or the next day, hoping to learn more about what led up to this Meanwhile, Jennifer worked here. She went by the name of Jamma, and she worked here for 15 years. So, I mean, just a horrible, horrible story all around. There is absolutely nothing that makes sense about this. Reporting live in East Point, Camille and Mary, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Camille, I know that Jamma and that other person had an argument today. The suspect comes back stabbing her, but do we know if this was an ongoing fight beyond today between the two of them? Are family members saying anything about that?
They're not. I mean, you know, we're going to hear more about that situation at the 6 o'clock show. But from every intents and purposes that we've been able to learn, that the suspect actually went out of her way to be nice to the children. All of them here at the McDonald's, they would hang out sometimes here. So you're going to hear more about that relationship at 6 o'clock. But they just can't understand this because they say it's so out of the blue, and what led up to this, why she did this. That, of course, remains to be seen, but of course, we'll have a lot more tonight at 6 o'clock.
Let me show you a little bit of who this woman was and what she was really dealing with behind the scenes, because what you present yourself to the kids is completely different than the reality of what you got to deal with. This is the woman that they was dealing with.
Then one day she coming in there talking about some, yeah, I broke my door in half and I had to pull my gun out on my kids and this and that. Well, you know, telling us that, like, the fuck you telling us you pulled a gun out on your kids for? You sound like a fucking psychopath. That's what I wanted to tell her. She was talking about some, she blacked out. I'm like, yeah, you must have had blacked out if you pulled the gun out on your kids. Like, you know, like, I'm like, what the fuck you telling me this for? Like, she think she's like trying to make it seem like that she big dog or some shit. Give a fuck about you telling me about you pulling the gun out on a kid. I don't fucking, like, that shit doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? That shit doesn't scare me. If she thought she was trying to intimidate me, that shit didn't intimidate me at all. I don't give a fuck about her telling me about what the fuck she did. You know, and maybe that's why they always fighting her, to defend themselves. They probably felt like their life was threatened.
And then right after that, this was the post that she put up right after that.
Everybody don't deserve to be happy. The fuck I'm like trying to please everyone, and I watch y'all all doubt me. Chuck E. Cheese is the man I used to want it to be, until my lava cake enlightened me that I'm.
Look at this crazy hoe. And they say that that's her music too. That's playing. She got stuff where she inside of the playpen looking crazy. She got stuff where she dressed like the Chucky doll. And then they got some stuff that's on her Instagram where you know, she's basically wearing the exact same masked hoodie that she used when she stabbed the lady. Now, they saying that the only reason that they was able to identify that it was her is because they was able to see her hands and stuff like that. And then she ran the guy that fired the stuff in the drive-thru, that fired in the air with the CPL holder in order to get this woman to stop stabbing the other woman, which obviously she still succumbed to her injuries. They did still, you know, the guy got out of the truck in order to track her down and all of this stuff, but it's just a sad story. It is a very sad story for the lady because, you know, you give somebody a chance, you give them an opportunity, you're trying to make sure that they can, you know, come to work and earn a living and stuff like that. And then if you go through this girl's Instagram and her TikTok, you go through her stuff and you realize, man, it was dealing with a straight up psychopath. Anybody that I hire, anybody that I have around me, I try to vet them as much as I possibly can because you never know the type of monsters that you're dealing with. And you just so happen to get somebody that jumped off the reservation, jumped off the porch, and they crazy as hell. Crazy as hell, but rest in peace to her. I'll be going through and I'll probably be covering more of this story just because I think that it's a sad, tragic thing. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.